yes, 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 yes. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome to the live. Welcome. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome to the live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live today. Welcome, 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 welcome. Today we're talking about how emptiness frees you, the empath, and leads to no resonance from narcissists. That's what we're talking about today. Today is all about emptiness. How to become empty in a way that frees you once and for all from narcissistic abuse. Greetings to you. My name is Dr. Nana Gyesie, right? And so I just want to be clear about that. Just come on in. What we're talking about today is why emptiness, not performance, is the primary way empaths escape narcissistic abuse. Emptiness. Emptiness. This is what we're going to talk about today. If you're really serious about escaping narcissistic abuse, then you have to get empty. Because if you're full, then you're filled with hate and the ego. When you're empty, you're in a place of submission. And so this is submission to yourself. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Emptiness. Why emptiness, not performance, is the only way an empath escapes narcissistic abuse and gets to no resonance. Emptiness. So that's what we're going to uncover today. What is emptiness? How does emptiness free you, Sonia? Welcome, welcome. Right? What exactly is emptiness? How to practice emptiness, and how emptiness ultimately frees you. Not being full of your previous trauma, but emptiness. Becoming empty is how you finally get free and become non-resonant with narcissistic abuse. Emptiness. So if you're serious about escaping narcissistic abuse and you're filled with a lot of anger, rage, this is the place for you to be. Emptiness. And I'm going to speak for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then I'll take questions after I go through the transmission. So I just want to be clear. Emptiness. Emptiness. This is how you escape narcissistic abuse. Become empty. Becoming empty. Otherwise, you get stuck in hell and you still get caught up in the this is not fair. Why is this happening? If you want to know why this is happening so you're no longer resonant to that energy, that you're in the right place to learn about emptiness, to share about emptiness, to deconstruct emptiness. So this is not for everyone. It's not. But tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody. For the right people, this is going to be quite paradigm shifting. So what we're going to go into is how emptiness is the path to freeing yourself ultimately from narcissistic abuse and into the place of no resonance. No resonance with anything narcissistic at all. You see, this is the whole deal. So if you're really ready, then you are in the right place. You are in the right place. You are in the right place. So let me get started. And I'm going to talk to you about a truth that only few people want to hear. And this is a truth that even unsettles empathic or spiritual spaces. That is, you cannot escape narcissistic abuse while still carrying hate, even if you feel your hate is justified. You, the empath, cannot transcend abuse while still performing identity, your old identity. You can't. And you cannot ascend while clinging to an ego that claims awakening. I'm going to say these again. This truth, if it unsettles you, then you're not in the right place. You cannot escape narcissistic abuse while still carrying hate. You can't. You cannot transcend abuse while still performing your old identity. Welcome, everyone. And you cannot ascend while clinging to an ego that claims awakening. You see? So this is what many people call healing is often identity reorganization. What many call awakening is pattern recognition without embodiment, deep embodiment. And what many wounded empaths call empathy is frequently projection born from unresolved pain. So this is not about becoming better. Today, the transmission is not about becoming better, right? This is about becoming empty, Abman. This is about becoming empty. Empty, 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 empty. And empty does not mean the absence of form. You would learn. So let me talk to you about this trap, the empath's hidden trap. Empaths often arrive with early trauma. And that trauma sharpens perception and accelerates insights. But insight is not liberation. Let me be clear. Many empaths see patterns quickly. Many empaths identify narcissism accurately. Many empaths speak with moral clarity. Yet, many empaths still remain energetically bound to abuse. Abman, I'm talking to you. Many remain energetically bound to abuse. Why? Why is that the case? I'll tell you why. This is because realization of narcissistic abuse is not embodiment. You see, realization means I see it. I see it. Embodiment means it no longer resonates with me. It's no resonant. It's in a no resonant frequency. It no longer lives in me. And without embodiments, the empath may leave the narcissist physically, but carry them neurologically, emotionally, and spiritually. This is important, so I'll say it again. Realization is not embodiment. Yes, realization is not embodiment. And here's a critical distinction. Realization simply means I see it. I see it. Embodiment, which is what you want to go for, says it no longer lives in me. And without embodiment, the empath may leave the narcissist physically, but still carry the narcissist neurologically, emotionally, and spiritually. So let me explain what performance and embodiment is. And before I go on, if this is connecting with you, just type transform. Hey, Michael, type transform in the comment section. Let me know I'm connecting with you and I'm telling you what the truth is, because I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. And if he's connected with you, just type transform in the comment section. Let me know I'm talking to you. Let me know I'm talking to you. Let me know I'm talking to you. So let me explain what I mean by performance versus embodiment. Then we'll get into what it means to get empty. Performance sounds like, I know. It sounds like I've healed. It sounds like I teach this. It also sounds like I see through them. I know them. I see through them. But performance still requires an audience. Performance still requires the narcissist as opposition. Performance still needs validation externally. And performance needs the identity that I am healed, I am an empath. That is not embodiment, that is spiritual bypassing. And it avoids the one initiation that real freedom needs. And real freedom needs the death of the identity that needs to be right. The death of the identity that needs revenge. The death of the identity that needs to be right. If I'm talking to you, type transform. I just want to know I'm not just talking to myself. If I'm talking to you, I'm telling you the truth. Because I know you want to get free. So I'm not going to tell you just for an audience. I'm going to tell you the truth. Now, let me tell you that if I'm talking to you, type transform, Diane. Dawn Marie, regulated woman, divine feminine. Let me know I'm talking to you, Portia. So let me tell you what embodiment is. Embodiment is silent. Embodiment is silent. Embodiment does not need to convince anybody that it is embodied, Sarah Jane. Embodiment does not expose for the ego. And embodiment does not fight. Because embodiment dissolves narcissistic systems, because there is no longer emotional fuel or narcissistic supply. There's no longer the polarity of good versus evil, and there's no longer hatred to hook into. Because let me say this, narcissism or narcissistic abuse or narcissist cannot be around you when you exist in a place of love. Simple and difficult, I know, but simple. So embodiment is silent. If you're truly embodied, you're not going to go about telling everybody you see Mother Mary and Archangel Gabriel and so forth. You may see them, but you're not going to say it to impress anybody. It does not need to convince anybody that it's awakened embodiment. A real bodhicitta, a real bodhisattva does not need to expose other people to shame them, except to expose the plague of narcissists and narcissistic abuse. Because embodiment dissolves narcissistic systems, because when you are embodied, there is no emotional fuel to give to the narcissist. There is no polarity to hate. And there's therefore no hatred to hook into. Now I'm going to go further and tell you why hate is the glue of narcissistic abuse. From a spiritual physics standpoint, narcissistic abuse regulated woman is a closed energetic loop that is sustained by this polarity. And love, self-love, collapses that polarity. Hate sustains the polarity. Why? This is because rage keeps trauma bonds alive. Anger keeps trauma bonds alive. Obsession prolongs entanglement with the narcissist. Did they say this? Did they mean this? Did they do this? And maybe there's a period where you do that, but obsession prolongs your enmeshment, your entanglement with the narcissist. And the need to expose the narcissist often deepens your captivity. So the point is, freedom is not victory, right? Freedom is non-participation in hate. Freedom is non-participation in hate or anything hateful. Winksley, Earthlines, am I talking to you? Now, I want to talk now about emptiness, since we know that hate is what sustains this narcissistic paradigm and enmeshment, engagement. And I'm going to talk about emptiness across various spiritual and religious traditions. And I'll start with the Buddhist perspective. Emptiness in Buddhism is known as sunyata, which means the absence of clinging. And you only get free when you stop clinging to your rumination, when you stop hating, and when you stop identifying with the false identity, the wounded emperor, the wounded empress, the wounded healer that was in narcissistic abuse. So this is not about self-improvement. This is about self-emptying. And this is in the same way in the Christian cosmology. Christ or Yeshua said, "Blessed are the poor in spirit." Blessed are the poor in spirit. Which also alludes to the point, not my will, but thy will be done. That is emptiness, not my will, not the ego, but thy will. How do you love someone who intentionally hurt you? Love doesn't need a qualification. So love on its own is unconditional, including love for demons. Now, love does not mean reconciliation. Love does not mean access. Love does not mean proximity. Am I answering your question, regulated woman? So, not my will, but thy will be done. That is kenosis, self-emptying love, kenosis. So Christ consciousness is not moral dominance. Christ consciousness is ego crucifixion. Who am I talking to? Ego crucifixion, I and I. Who am I? I'm telling you the information. Who am I connecting with? And if I'm connecting with you, type transform so I know we are in the same realm. Who am I talking to? Now let me keep going. In Islam, it is said Tawheed. Tawheed is absolute unity. Tawheed, absolute unity, Kimmy. And fana. Fana means the annihilation of the ego in God. Michael. Fana. Fana are the annihilation of ego in God, meaning that submission is not weakness. Submission in Islam is ego dissolution. This is why the Sufis would also say, die before you die. Fana equals baka, because when you submit, you are abiding and the self disappears and only love remains. It feels like emptiness is not empty. Emptiness is infinite. Equanimity. Now, from indigenous traditions, whether it's the Yoruba or the Amazonian shamans, the healer is hollowed out. Urchin Sadhu, the healer is hollowed out because power flows through you from the self, not from the self. And ego blocks the spirit. So initiation empties you before it empowers you. That's what narcissistic abuse did to you. It's supposed to empty you of any identity of hate. Don't worry about who it bothers, because remember, you're in the hell realm. So of course it's going to bother everybody. This is the hell realm. That's where you are until you wake up. That's the hell realm, Sarah Jane. Now, let me talk to you about the architecture of hell or ego as a state of non-emptiness. So what I want to say is hell is not punishment. Hell is the density you feel in your body. Hell, even though there are lower realms, and across Hindu traditions, Buddhist traditions, even the tantric and indigenous cosmologies, the seven hells, and I want to talk about seven hells as a metaphor, as an illustration, as an allegory. I want to talk to you about seven hells that are, and this is more from the Hindu perspective, but the seven hells are states of consciousness created by egoic fixation. The seven hells that I'm going to talk about are metaphoric, allegorical states of consciousness created by egoic fixation. And the seven hells I'm going to talk about are as follows. I'll start with the first one. The first hell that you live in is the hell of hatred and obsession. Hatred and obsession is known as Mahatala. Mahatala, hatred and obsession. So this is the first hell empaths enter after awakening to narcissistic abuse. You're angry. Like, why did this happen? Who are these people? Why did these demons do this to me? That is the first hell. The hell of hatred and obsession. Am I talking to you? And if I'm talking to you, type transform so I know I'm talking to you. So I know I'm talking to you. You see? Isabel, thank you. So when you are stuck in hatred and obsession, you are in the first hell. You are in the first hell. Now, the second hell, what is the second hell? The second hell is your egoic identity, Barkline, regulated woman, urchin suit. Your egoic identity, equanimity, your ego. So what is this egoic identity? It's known as Atala, mystical raven. Empathy now becomes performance. Ego is an identity addiction where you have this wounded healer superiority. And as long as you attach to an egoic identity, you are stuck in the second hell. Of course it was, just like mine, Michael, but you knew that. You see? But it's all love, though. Now, from the second hell, you come to the third hell. And the third hell is known as Vitala. Vitala meaning control and illusion. Or in the Buddhist frequency, it's known as Upadana. That's when you try to out-narcissist the narcissist, where you're stuck in moral absolutism, control and illusion. And some people here think they're being dark empaths, but you're not being a dark empath. You are stuck in the third hell. Am I talking to you, NS Queen? Am I talking to you? If I'm talking to you, I want to know. Somebody let me know I'm telling you the information. So now you come to the fourth hell. And the fourth hell is known as Sutala or Sutala. This is comparative suffering or envy, Isa. Comparative suffering. That's when you are stuck in the trauma Olympics and you compete for validation. Look at me, look at me, look at me. I suffered. I know Yoruba. I know Hinduism. Come on. Comparative suffering. Down the rabbit hole, Portia. What do you think this was? But you knew this, right? That's exactly H. Parriott, self-righteousness. You got it. You got it, H. Parriott. Thank you. Then from comparative suffering, the back line, I'm so touched that you said that, because self-awareness is freedom. You see? Now, the fifth hell, I'm going through 7. The fifth hell is the hell of fear and hypervigilance. Fear and hypervigilance. This is known as Talakala. This is where you are experiencing your PTSD, the hyperarousal. You know, you see narcissists everywhere. That's fear and hypervigilance. That's the fifth hell. So you realize that hell is neurological in your nervous system. You heard? Then the sixth hell. The sixth hell is known as Rasatala. This is where you dissociate. You see, through emotional numbing or premature forgiveness or bypassing. This is emptiness mistaken for a shutdown, the biggest. And the seventh hell is the absence of love, known as Patala. The absence of love. That's total ignorance of non-self, thinking you are this avatar. That's the narcissistic condition itself. Am I talking to you? These are the 7 hells. Let me go through them again. The first hell is where you're stuck in hatred and obsession. The second hell is when you're stuck in egoic identity. The third hell is when you're stuck with control and illusion. The fourth hell is when you're stuck in comparative suffering. The fifth hell is when you're stuck in hypervigilance, right? The sixth hell is when you numb and you dissociate, you become fragmented. And the seventh hell is the absence of hell. So the point is, hell is the inability to empty yourself. Who am I talking to? Hell is the inability to get empty. Because when you have the ego, you're full of yourself, as they would say. Full of yourself. You've heard the term full of yourself. Hell, therefore, is the inability, Lizette, Itoy, the inability, positive mind, positive action, DRM Hendricks, the inability to empty, because ego is density. Density is suffering, and suffering is hell. And where do you feel hell? You feel it in your body. You feel it in your anxiety. You feel it in your chest. You feel it in your belly. You feel it in your restlessness. You feel it in your mind. And especially in your mind. So empathy without emptiness becomes dangerous. Empathy without emptiness becomes dangerous. You see? Because empathy without emptiness turns into projection. Turns into saviorism. Can I save them? It turns into moral aggression. Look around you. And it turns into fusion. Let me say it again. Empathy without emptiness, including empathy for the demons. Because you know the demons suffer. But you're not there to rescue them. Empathy without emptiness turns into projection. You start to project. I see this in my work. People project. And I just sit back and watch. All right, go on, right? Projection. Emptiness, empathy without emptiness leads to saviorism. I can save them. I can save them. I want to save them. It leads to moral aggression. I'm healed. I'm in the 5th dimension. I'm in my 7th chakra. I'm connected to Mother Mary. And it leads to fusion with an identity based in spiritual bypassing. Who am I talking to? So true compassion arises only after the ego is dissolved, not before. Come on! Who am I talking to? Wait, Slate. Isabel. Diamond Mind 470. Who am I talking to, Sarah Jane? Let me know I'm talking to I and I and I. Who am I talking to? Oh. See, true compassion arises after the dissolution of the ego, Barkline. Grill like the color. Dawn Marie. True compassion arises. Oh, you are now in the bodhicitta mind, H. Parriott. But not before, because the Buddha, as an example, taught non-clinging awareness. Christ embodied self-emptying love. And many mystics did not fight hell. They outgrew it. You don't fight hell. You outgrow hell. That's no resonance. The Barkline. That is no resonance. It's not fashionable to hate demons. Because when you hate a demon, you become like the demon. Even if you're justified. And we're not talking about justice here. We're talking about emptiness. Now, let me give you some science to support this. Kimmy. Hate locks the nervous system into sympathetic dominance. No resonance, you said it. Comparatively or conversely, love, which is forgiveness, contentment, activates your vagal tone and puts you in a place of coherence. You said it, H. Parriott. Healing requires nervous system emptiness, not inside alone. Portia, you're so correct. Now, when we come to physics, into the world of physics for the scientists here, the vacuum of emptiness is not empty. Emptiness is infinite potential. It's like a blank slate. That's what the divine is, a blank slate. So 0 point energy is the most energetic field, not the lowest. 0 point energy is the most energetic field, not the lowest. Similarly, when the ego collapses, that's why you go through ego death, intelligence arises. Come on, don't fight your ego death. Being in ego death and hermit mode is tantamount to being in the ICU after an emergency. So what does emptiness really mean? What does emptiness really mean? Emptiness is no longer needing to be understood. You understand me? Great. You don't understand me? That's your burden, not mine. Emptiness no longer needs to be understood. Emptiness is no longer rehearsing narratives. What do I say? How do I say it? What do I say? What do they say? Do I say, if she does this, I would do that? Emptiness is no longer proving your awakening. Emptiness, you said it, girl, like the color. Emptiness is no longer proving your awakening, Chrissy. Diamond Mind. Emptiness also means no longer hating, Itoy. No longer hating. Look around you. We are now in the place of peak hate. What is that? It's fashionable to be hateful now. Wagwan. What is that? And don't you realize that when you're hated, you're performing? You may be thinking justice. Come on, look at you. Don't do that. You see, because emptiness is, as you said it, God filled me with love, Chrissy. Emptiness is forgiveness without reconciliation. I'm so glad, Barkline. And Barkline, if I can be of help, book a free session with me at innermileage.com. Let's talk. Yeah, I'll tell you the truth. Emptiness is forgiveness without reconciliation. That means you can forgive all the narcissists in your life, your mother, your father, your neighbors, your wife, your husband, your sister, your brother, everybody, without needing to reconcile with them. Emptiness is compassion without proximity. Emptiness is compassion without proximity. Compassion means you understand that the narcissist is a damaged, broken 7-year-old adult trapped, but it doesn't mean you want to be next to them and sing kumbaya. Emptiness is coming to clarity without identity. So why does emptiness end narcissistic abuse? I'm coming to the end. And if anybody has a question, invite yourself, particularly on Instagram and TikTok. I'll take 1 or 2 questions. Yes? Why does emptiness end narcissistic abuse? This is because narcissistic systems require polarity: hate, love, toxicity, calm. You see, narcissistic systems require an emotional charge, anger, rage. And if you're empty, you're not going to give them that because you're in love. Narcissistic systems require hatred or admiration. How far can you get while you're still close with the person? Why are you still close with them? With a narcissist? Why? I'm curious, H. Harriet. I'm really curious. Why? Yeah, I'm sure you have a good reason. Emptiness offers no polarity. Emptiness offers no emotional charge, and emptiness offers no hatred. So there are no hooks, no fuel, no mirrors. Married, oh my. Book a free session with me and let's talk. Or if you want to come and ask a question, ask the question, Harriet. I've been there. I've been married twice, divorced twice, more accurately. So the narcissist collapses not because you defeated them. Gray. The narcissist collapses because there is no longer a field of hate in you to exist in. You said it, Itoy. That's exactly it. The narcissist collapses not because you defeated them. Yes, you defeated them, of course, but they collapse because you outgrow them. You outgrow them. So emptiness is not absence. Emptiness is true power without the need to dominate. Somebody hear me. Somebody hear what I just said. Emptiness is power without domination, Kimmy. Emptiness is power without domination. Emptiness is love without attachment. I have 3 children I love deeply and would do anything for, but I don't own them. I do not own them. I'm a shepherd to them, but I don't own them. You see, that's a love without attachment. Emptiness is also wisdom without identity. Look at me, I'm so wise. I'm so wise. No. Emptiness is the middle way, as I said in the Buddha Dharma. What about when we have kids together and still in the community? I have 3 kids with 2. You got to have boundaries. You don't owe the narcissist access, Dawn Marie, for what? You don't owe them access for what? Your relationship with a narcissist when you're divorced is a business transaction. Don't you understand? So when you have a parenting plan, when you have a custody agreement, and if you don't have that, you better have it. You see, when you have that, the relationship, there's no more a relation. It's a transaction. This is what you do on this date. So the transaction is the same way you will communicate with a co-worker from a job that you've resigned for and giving you 2 weeks notice with no desire to get to know the co-worker. You're cordial and polite, but the co-worker ain't your buddy. Dawn Marie, the co-worker is not your friend. He's not your ex-husband. He's somebody you were married to, period, in the past. You're no longer that person. So if he still triggers you, you are still identifying with the wife who was married to the said narcissistic demon. Come on, who am I talking to? Dawn Marie, did I talk to you? You see, the middle way, emptiness, is the end of abuse. So Dawn Marie, he's a business partner, not your ex-partner. Don't you see the difference? It's a business relationship. So if you don't have a custody agreement, get one. If you don't have a parenting plan, talk to a lawyer, get one. If you don't have a child support thing, talk to a lawyer, get one. You're still, because you're still entangled. You're still angry. And as long as you're still angry, you haven't forgiven. You see, Dawn Marie? Let's talk, Dawn Marie. So hell is not beneath you. Hell is not beneath you. Hell is behind you. And the path forward is not conquest, to keep fighting. You don't have to deal with him, Don Marie. It's a business arrangement. So you better read your parenting plan and your custody agreement and follow it to the T. And you have to decide on one form of communication. You are allowing the abuse to happen. You are doing it, Don Marie. If I was sitting next to you, I would look at you and say this to you. You are doing it, Don Marie. It is you. You see? So the path forward is not conquest, but it's release. I have a 20-year-old and a 17-year-old and an almost 6-year-old. Yeah, so don't allow it. He doesn't exist. You have to know that when you leave a narcissistic relationship, marriage, you have to get to the point where the narcissist does not exist. The narcissist does not exist. They may exist in so far as you got to deal with them, but you got to decide for your mental health, are you going to communicate by text? Are you going to communicate by email? Are you going to talk? You are still resonant. This is why it happens. So from emptiness arises, well, don't say it's your fault, Paul, as if you're blaming yourself. But what I'm saying is to recognize that nothing can happen to you without your permission. So from emptiness, love arises. Don't worry, I know I'm pushing you a little bit here. I know I'm pushing you. But it's all love. You see what I'm saying? Yes, I am. Diane, you know this. So from emptiness, love arises. From love, freedom arises. And from freedom is the end of narcissistic abuse. Oh, I just gave you the good news. I don't know who's rejoicing with me. I know. Who is rejoicing with me? I need to chant a psalm. You see, I need to chant a psalm. This song evokes angels, I tell you. Who am I talking to? Exactly, Paul. Well said. See, who am I talking to, Nikki? Who am I talking to, Don Marie? Who am I talking to, Barkline? You better start rejoicing like Joshua did on the walls of Jericho. That's how you get into the love frequency. Another day to get it right. You said it. Rejoice, rejoice. Good tidings I bring you. Yeah, ye. Blessed to you, my friend. Voices cry. The angels, when pressure dropping, cannot conquer dread. No. So blow away your blue sea feeling. Spirit say, take the world off your shoulder. Come on! Who is entertained? Who sow in tears shall reap. Who sow in tears shall reap in joy. Who sows in tears shall reap in joy. Steel Post has told you. Backstabbers get down. The righteous repeat the gifts of the scripture. This is the ultimate chant against narcissists and narcissistic abuse. Every day we make progress. This is the frequency. You see, you cannot defeat a narcissist without ego death. You cannot defeat a narcissist. You cannot without love. You cannot outgrow a narcissist if you're still thinking about them all the time. You cannot defeat a narcissist if you're thinking thoughts of justice. Because justice doesn't work with a narcissist. Yes, go to court and do the legal thing. But the only way to defeat a narcissist is through the frequency of love. Why is that? Because the narcissist lives in a place of permanent hate. The narcissist lives in a place of permanent hate. The narcissist lives in a place of permanent hate. That's why they try to activate hate in you. Because the narcissist lives in a place of permanent hate. That's why they want to evoke hate in you. Because the only way the narcissist can connect to you frequentially is through the mechanism of hate, rage, triggering you. The narcissist can only reach you when hate is present. The narcissist cannot reach you when there is no hate. When there is no hate, you are in no resonance with anything narcissistic, anything performative. And that's how you start to connect to your authentic self, your true self. And you can only come to your true self after ego death, because ego death makes you empty. And emptiness is infinite. Because if you say, I know, you put a limit. If you say, I don't know, there is no limit. You see, I don't know anything about anything. But the reason why I talk to you this way is because every day I'm learning. So the divine is always with infinite knowledge. Infinite knowledge that is realized through practice. And I'm telling you, you cannot escape any narcissist or narcissistic imprint so long as hate is in you. But what if they evoke constant fear of family court? Don't you realize that the narcissist is the master and mistress of illusion? What is the reason for that? To make you afraid. And when you are afraid, what are you? Hateful. And when you are hateful, what are you? Bakia? Defeatable. Come on. It's a math equation. It's a math equation. You didn't miss Steel Paws. Steel Paws is still playing. Blue Sun. Go Blue Sun. This is the information. Oh, I'm so happy for you, Paul. But also sorry. I'm sorry you went through that, Paul. I'm really sorry you went through that. Because narcissistic abuse is not for the faint of heart. I tell you that much. Narcissistic abuse ain't for the faint of heart. And if you've been through narcissistic abuse, I know what you've been through. I know what you've been through. You get me? I know exactly what you've been through. But rejoice, because good tidings I bring you. And the good tidings I bring you is you will win when you embody love. But in this world, in this hell realm, we are taught you win by becoming hateful too, by becoming aggressive as well. No. How? You're not gonna, you get stuck in the enmeshment. So how do you let go of the hate so that you can overcome? Forgive. Don't seek revenge. Forgive. Remember, love is forgiveness without reconciliation. That's forgiveness without an apology. Forgiveness without acknowledgement. Bex Maida, am I talking to you, Bex? Forgiveness is not for the narcissist. Forgiveness is to free you from hell. Because the narcissist who abused you, whether it was your wife, your mother, your sister, your brother, your man, your person, your non-binary person, it only continues when there is the presence of hate. Narcissistic abuse cannot exist anywhere where there is love. Somebody prove me wrong. Because narcissistic abuse is fundamentally rooted in hate. It is hateful. It is demonic. So the only way the narcissist can get you is to put you in the frequency of hate, which is why when you are ascending, they will gaslight you with things to get you back to your old identity. And in that old identity, there is hate, there is fear. You understand what I'm saying? And so as long as that exists, you are playing with a narcissist. Why would you want to play with a narcissist? Why? Why would you want to play around with a scorpion? What you know is going to bite you. Why would you play around with a viper if you're not a snake charmer? Why would you play around with a cobra if you're not a snake charmer? Why would you do that? Why would you go to snakes if you're not in your kundalini energy? I know it's hard because he hurt you. He hurt you, Dawn Marie. But it's harder to remain unforgiven. It's easier to forgive. You're just addicted to being angry, Dawn Marie. My sister, I love you, Dawn Marie. You're just addicted to justice, retribution. And as long as you're addicted to that, that's game over. Game over. So family, this is the message. This is the message. Love is how you overcome the narcissist. Because love awakens your intelligence. Love calms your nervous system. When your nervous system is calm, your prefrontal cortex is active, so you can think intelligently. When you are in fear, your amygdala is heightened, so you're always afraid, and you're always going to be doing what? Reacting. And when you're reacting, the narcissist is happy. You have to, It happens, Awaken 11, because when they cannot get you, they'll go for your children. And remember what I said, you do not own your children. Your job is to provide for them and be a shepherd and correct them, but you don't own them. So if your child is already becoming narcissistic, step back and love them. But don't get entangled in that game, because you will lose. You will lose by becoming hateful. I know what I'm talking about. Awaken 11. Awaken 11. Am I talking to you? Awaken 11. Come. Am I talking to you? Am I talking to you? Awaken 11. Huh? This is what happens. He still wants to destroy you because you are angry. And as long as you're angry, he's going to want to finish the job, Dawn Marie. So stop being angry. Forgive him. Even if he looks like the biggest demon you've ever seen. Forgive him. And forgiving him means you're saying, I no longer consent to anything hateful. Why are you still communicating with him if it's hurting you? Go yellow rock, gray rock, or no contact, and use one form of communication. Have boundaries. Of course, your context might be specific, so if you want to talk more, book a free session. But you have to forgive him, even if he doesn't deserve it. Because when you say to yourself he doesn't deserve it, you're caught in justice. And when you're caught up in justice, how are you going to forgive? You're playing the same game. You're looking for reconciliation. You're looking for validation. You're not going to get any validation from the narcissist. How do you forgive a narcissist when they're so cruel? Just forgive. Because when you ask the question, how can I forgive when they're so cruel? You're looking for an explanation, understanding. The narcissist is so cruel because they receive cruelty and they are cruel to themselves. That's it. That's all you need to understand, Bex Mater. I'm just passionate because I know how these people keep us trapped in hell. And I want you to be free from hell, free mentally and emotionally, unabashed. The narcissist is cruel, Bex Mater, because they are cruel to themselves. The narcissist is hateful because they hate themselves. The narcissist cannot love anybody because they hate themselves. So a person can only give you what they have. So if they are cruel to themselves, how you don't expect compassion from them? Come on. I don't consent the back line. You share a dog. Oh my. Then you're going to have a parenting plan for the dog. You don't leave anything to chance. With a narcissist, everything needs to be by the book. With a narcissist, you got to be honest. You got to be diligent. You got to be smart. By the book. Do you have a parenting plan? You don't have one, get one. Do you have a child support plan? You don't have one, get one. Do you have a custody plan? You don't have one, get one. You don't have a lawyer? Get a lawyer. Come on. This is what it is. Oh, Dawn Marie, you got it. You see, you leave no stone unturned. So the only conversation you have with a narcissist is on the mechanics of your business relationship. Because what you have with a narcissist is a business relationship. In the same way, the marriage was a contract. So when the contract ends, there are rules for the contract. You follow that. It's not a relation. There's no more relational. It's transactional. You have to understand it's the same way you will invite a plumber to fix your thing and pay them, and they write you an invoice. It's a business relationship, Dawn Marie. It's a business relationship. It's a business relationship, Dawn Marie. It's a business relationship. It's not a friendship. It's not a human relationship. Except you forgive them and you wish them the best, and you may even wish them love. Well, yes, it was bad business, but now you have good business. That's why you have a custody plan, a parenting plan, a custody agreement for your dog, all that. I get it, but you can be done today, not in the future. Right now, Dawn Marie, right now. I know I'm pushing you, Dawn Marie. I know, Dawn Marie. I know I'm pushing you. I know. I'm going to take it easy, okay, Dawn Marie? But you get the message. So this is the message, folks. This is the message. This is the message. This is the message. This is the message, folks. This is the message. This is the message. Emptiness. Emptiness is how you get free from this scourge. You see? Emptiness is how you free yourself from this scourge. So they will never see us fall. Never see us fall. This is my daughter Shiloh's favorite song. Never See Us Fall from Marlon Asher. never see us fall. Thank you, folks. Thank you, folks. Thank you. 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 And down. Come on, Malanasha. Never see I falling down. I fix I crowd because they will never see us falling. Never. Never, never. The narcissist Dawn Marie will never see you fall. Dawn Marie, they will never see you fall. So one love, folks. One love, one love, one love, one love. One love, one love, one love, one love. Yeah? Remember, find your own emptiness. Find your own emptiness. Yeah? Find your own emptiness. Find your own emptiness. Free yourself of the ego. One love, empaths. One love. Thank you so much. Book a free session, innermileage.com. And even if you're not a fit, because it has to be a fit, I'll tell you the truth. So that's the message, Brad. That's the message, Portia. You can't win against delusion. Exactly. So thank you, folks. Wishing you a happy fun day. May you be happy wherever you are. May I be happy wherever I am. Thank you so much. And may we continue to be empty and bring love into the frequency. Because the new earth is a frequency. It's a frequency of love. Love for self. Love for humanity. Even the hell realm. That's how you get free. You see? One love, one love. Book a free session, innermileage.com. Innermileage.com. Inner mileage. Because inner mileage is all about going within, into the miles within. That's inner mileage. And inner mileage is all about becoming non-resonant with anything that holds you back. Non-resonant with anything that holds you back. So, this is Dr. Nana Gyesie signing off. One love. Thank you so much, yeah? See you again next week. Next week, yeah? I may not be on Monday because I'll be on a retreat, but definitely back on, maybe on Monday, but definitely on Wednesday I'll be back, yes? I'll be on a retreat on Monday, so it depends on what's going on. Actually, the retreat starts tomorrow until Monday. So I'm sending you gratitude. Maybe see you on Monday, definitely on Wednesday, yes? One love. May you be filled with love. May I be filled with love. May you be filled with gratitude. May I be filled with gratitude. May I be filled with abundance. May you be filled with abundance. May I be filled with healing. May you be filled with healing. This is how you come into non-resonance, Isabel. You said it. Non-resonant with anything that holds you back. Bullies, backhanded compliments, insecure people, jealous people, narcissistic people, all of them. Any kind of performance, any herd mentality, any NPC vibration, without hate, but always with love. Yes? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. See you soon. One love, one love, one love, one love, one love. One love.